There's a security camera?
Aquaman, protecting your home since 2012.
Number 10, textbooks. With the large bookcase situated right behind the couch in Sheldon and Leonard's place, it's hard not to notice all of the books.
Break it off, shake hands.
But besides the geology book that Sheldon drunkenly goes to bed with one night, picking out specific books from the shelf is pretty much impossible.
What have I done?
However, there was one book on that shelf that had a direct connection to one of the other cast members. For those that aren't aware, Maya Bialik has a PhD in neuroscience, and as she told CNN, quote, "One of my actual genetics textbooks is in the guy's apartment."
Sheldon, sometimes you forget. I'm a lady. And with that comes an estrogen-fueled need to page through thick, glossy magazines that make me hate my body.
Number 9, Raiders of the Lost Ark whiteboard. You know those whiteboards the guys have all over their apartment? You've probably always wondered if all those formulas and equations were good science, but when you look at them, you feel like Sheldon did when he saw the final question at the physics bowl. Well, we can tell you that the show had a science consultant, and that the science on those boards was always correct, except for one time.
Consider, a family possesses a dog that is so large and poorly disciplined, he causes nothing but problems. Why do they keep him?
In the episode where Amy ruins Raiders of the Lost Ark for everyone, one of the whiteboards has an equation copied from Professor Jones' blackboard in the film.
No, not really. Ravenwood is the real expert. Abner did the first serious work on Tanis, collected some of its relics. It was his obsession, really. But he never found the city.
The equation doesn't make sense, but they left it as is, as an ode to the movie.
You know, why couldn't she just like Ziggy, you know? That thing's riddled with plot holes.
Number 8, apartment Foray. Fans of the show know that Penny lives in apartment 4B and that Sheldon and Leonard live across the hall in apartment 4A.
Should we have invited her for lunch?
No, we're gonna start season 2 of Battlestar Galactica.
No big revelations there, right? Well, according to some fans, 4A is actually an Easter egg, and it has nothing to do with the number and letter, but about what it sounds like when you say it out loud.
Yes?
Yeah, I'm Leonard Hofstetter. I called you about the apartment. You said to come
I know
by.
what I said. I know what you said. I know what my mother said on March 5th, 1992.
4A sounds like the word foray, which is defined by Oxford Languages as, quote, a sudden attack or incursion into enemy territory, especially to obtain something. A raid. Another fan theory posits that Foray is actually a nod to voice actress June Foray, who was the voice of Rocky the Flying Squirrel from the Rocky and Bullwinkle show, and a few characters in the Frosty the Snowman special.
When you come back to Earth in a Soyuz capsule, you free fall from space at 500 miles per hour. And the only thing that slows you down is a little parachute that pops out right before you crash into the ground. And the whole thing was designed by the same brilliant minds who are unable to capture Rocky and Bullwinkle.
Both television productions have been mentioned on The Big Bang Theory.
When we watch Frosty the Snowman, he roots for the sun.
Number 7, that poster in the hallway.
Oh, this is pretty nice.
As we saw in the flashback episode, Sheldon's apartment decor was much more, shall we say, minimalist before Leonard moved in. However, one of the few decorative touches that was already present was that poster on the wall in the hallway leading to the bathroom and bedrooms in the back of the apartment.
Can you do that?
Cathedra mea reguli mei. That's Latin from my chair, my rules.
But what is it? Turns out it's a poster of the electromagnetic spectrum, which is, to quote the Encyclopedia Britannica, the entire distribution of electromagnetic radiation according to frequency or wavelength.
Quick, what does a hawk sound like?
I don't know. Scree.
And not to get all science-y here, but there is some relationship between the spectrum and the Doppler effect, which we're all familiar with from Sheldon's season 1 Halloween costume.
I don't care if anybody gets it, I'm going as the Doppler effect.
No, it's not.
If I have to, I can demonstrate.
Number 6, the real address. So we all know that Sheldon and Leonard live at 2311 North Los Robles Avenue in Pasadena, California.
2311 North Los Robles Avenue, Pasadena, California. 2, International Space Station. Can you read me? Over.
Or 311 should you happen to have shown up on the day that Sheldon removed the 2, in an attempt to escape Amy Farrah Fowler and avoid having to meet her mother.
What if she just comes over?
She'll get lost. We no longer live at 2311 Los Robles. We now live at 311 Los Robles.
But we digress. In reality, regardless of when you showed up, you would find yourself standing in the middle of an intersection rather than in front of an apartment building. Because while there is a North Los Robles Avenue, the numbers on said street that would correspond to the real-life general area where the building is situated within the sitcom's reality don't go as high as 2311.
You're going up Euclid Avenue?
Mm-hmm.
Leonard takes Los Robles Avenue.
Well, good for Leonard.
Number 5, the window.
I need to use your window.
Oh, hey, yeah, no, sure, go ahead.
Hey, jerkface, you forgot your iPod!
How many windows are in the main living space of the apartment? There's the huge one on the back wall that Sheldon cracked trying to scare away a bird.
And in 3, 2, 1.
And there's one in the kitchen that we hardly ever see. But we know it exists because of its part in creating the cross breeze that perfectly hits Sheldon's spot on the couch.
In the winter, that seat is close enough to the radiator to remain warm and yet not so close as to cause perspiration. In the summer, it's directly in the path of a cross breeze created by opening windows there and there.
But there's a third window that never gets any love. The one on the left-hand side of the hallway leading to the back rooms.
There. It's late. Now, go to bed.
But don't feel bad if you never noticed it, as it's pretty much always covered by long blue curtains, which we assume were Leonard's idea since they weren't there in the flashback episode.
The bedrooms are back there?
That depends.
I don't understand. Their existence is conditional?
Number 4, the flag magnet. Canada has the maple leaf, the United States has the stars and stripes, and Sheldon and Leonard have a...
The gold lion rampant on a field of azure.
We're first introduced to the apartment flag in the flashback episode when the guys are going over the roommate agreement.
We have a flag?
We also learn that it's to be flown upside down only when the apartment is in distress, an example of which occurs a little later on in the same episode. But during various episodes when there's something distressing going on with Sheldon, you'll notice that the flag magnet on the fridge will be upside down too. For example, look behind Sheldon's shoulder while Amy ruins Raiders of the Lost Ark, and you'll see that lion standing on his head.
No, I do. And if he weren't in the movie, the Nazis would have still found the Ark, taken it to the island, opened it up, and all died. Just like they did.
Number 3, that thing on the big post.
You were going to march yourself over there right now and apologize.
While you might not have known that the poster on the wall was of the electromagnetic spectrum, at least you knew it was a poster. However, we're pretty sure we aren't the only ones who've been staring at that thing on the post in the apartment for 12 seasons, asking ourselves, what the hell is that?
I'll get it!
Okay, technically it wasn't 12 whole seasons, as the item didn't appear until episode 2, but regardless, the question still remains. What is it? If you're screaming at this video, it's an antique fuse holder with fuses, then you'd be correct. And there's no need to yell. As for why it's there, supposedly one of the set dressers found it and thought it would look cool, at least according to one of the show's special DVD features. Number 2, Carol Ann Susi photo. Actress Carol Ann Susi played Howard's mother on the show for 8 seasons, and never once did her face appear on screen.
Who's on the phone?
It's Leonard!
Why is he calling?
Sheldon's sick!
Were you playing with him?
However, after she passed away from cancer in 2014, Carol's face was on screen in every episode of the last 4 seasons of the show, although you probably didn't even notice it.
Thank you so much for helping us, Stuart.
Oh, I was just glad to be invited. To be honest, I don't always feel like I'm part of the group.
Okay, sweetie, we're on the clock here. Can you hate yourself and Frost at the same time?
To honor the actress, whose voice had been such an important part of the series, a small photo of Carol was put on the side of the guy's fridge. This was done by the producers, reportedly, quote, so that she would always remain with them.
It's Mrs. Wallowitz, loving mother to all of us.
Number 1. Aquaman doing a Star Trek salute.
Aquaman? This isn't a gag gift, Stuart.
Yeah, just as well. It's a pretty rare piece. I'd rather just sell it to a real collector.
I'm a real collector.
Aquaman is definitely not the most beloved of superheroes, and yet Sheldon has 2 action figures of him. The one we see Stuart trick him into buying ends up with a security camera inside it.
There's a security camera?
Aquaman, protecting your home since 2012.
The other one, and no, we aren't counting Raj's costume, is actually up on the shelf above the big window in the back of the apartment, along with Batman, Robin, and others. And the super cool thing about that latter, as Will Wheaton told CNN, is that he, quote, is articulated so he's doing the Vulcan live long and prosper salute. And while we're talking action figures, we have to mention the limited edition Luke Skywalker in Stormtrooper disguise that appears on the bookshelf behind the couch in Season 3.
Hi, guys.
Hello.
Yo, Raj, talk to me.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.